Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sometimes Something, episode 4, episode 3, episode
Three.
5, 3, episode 3. Wow, look at us go. 3
Two
whole
going through.
episodes. That's incredible. Well, today we're going to talk about a little bit about, I think co-op games are pretty fucking underrated. And I wanted to talk about Eve and why that's a horrible game.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We're also going to talk about Journeys to New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that one because it might take a bit. So
That's a lot. Kari?
I didn't bring very much, but I was going to talk about that FreeTelly. There's a free television that you can get now. It has ads.
Kari's about to shill for popcorn time.
No, it's almost like
legitimate?
dystopian. Yeah, it's a free telly that shows you ads. So yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah.
that sounds awful. Just realizing what you're saying, that sounds horrendous. Well, let's start with that because I really want to know exactly what that is.
I put a link in the pod topics.
okay, yep, I'll bring it up.
But it's a TV that comes with an extra panel at the bottom that this 24/7 shows you ads, or at least when it's turned on. And then they sell it also shows like the weather, but like it's mainly showing ads. And you get for completely free. It also has like a always on mic and camera for other reasons. And I think
That's
you can
fucking
buy
insane.
it. You can disable the mic and camera or something if you pay like $300, which is still cheaper than getting a TV that size. But like you still get the ads or something.
That's crazy.
Just throw a nice little blanket over that ad screen.
I was kind of thinking that too. But honestly, I can actually see people buying this, and I do wonder
people totally doing this.
Yeah. I wonder how if this concept will take off, because if it does, oh boy,
yes,
can open the floodgates.
Of course, this is gonna be people that don't know any better, and they're just like, oh, it's a free TV. I don't care if nobody sees. And then they're also gonna be like, yeah, I deal weed out of my living room. What's wrong with that? And while they're on camera, you know what I mean? It's like it's going to 100% be just, oh my god, this could be huge.
Interesting.
I think genuinely a lot of people are so desensitized to ads, they just do not care. Like they won't even notice.
Yeah, I can see people doing it. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I wonder how much monitoring software on it. Like I wonder how easy, like if you can just open up a panel and pull a wire and the whole bottom
I can't wait for the tech YouTubers to be opening up this thing.
Oh, I hope that would be great if some tech YouTubers got it and be like, this is how you disable the camera and the bottom monitor, and it's just like super easy. And yeah. I'm sure there's monitoring software on it though, so like if that gets disabled, they're like, we're turning your television off.
I was thinking the same thing, and also it's probably like a terms of use kind of thing where it's like legally.
Legally, but like, who cares? Like, you're not gonna sue everybody that fucking pulls a wire.
No, yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I'm curious on how that. Yeah, weird. It is it's crazy.
That's super. Ugh.
I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah, that's a hard no. I mean, even if it was just the bottom bar, I mean, I wouldn't do this no matter what, because I'm sure the TV quality is also a dog shit. But if it was just the bottom bar and not the camera mic, I think I would be like, I could recommend this. You know what I mean? Like some of my friends that are students or cheap, you know what I mean? Like they would love this. If it was just like, okay, there's a random foot in my living room that's, you could just cover it up, or you could put it in you could probably put it in some sort of stand that it like drops down into, so you just don't see the bottom foot. There's probably tons of way to deal with it. That's crazy. That's super. Yeah, that is totally dystopian. Like a billboard in your living room. That definitely is a bit.
What if we took it a step further? It's just like, hey, get paid $10 a month to have this ad screen. Like it's not even the TV, like you get a literal billboard.
That's crazy. But there's a camera on it, so they check you occasionally. Make sure you're looking at it.
Like the amount you earn only goes up while you have like eye contact with it or something.
Oh my god!
You're gonna have people like farming them, sitting there at their couch, just looking at them all, like. Oh man.
Just throw big parties every night. Everybody's like, what is this? They just look at it. Just keep looking.
Oh wait, that's actually such a right. wait, because people, you kind of already see that with like venues, right, and events. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, why
That
not
would be
your house
so
party?
fucking gross if like every party you're going to, you got to sit around and watch the TV for a certain amount of time.
Like, hey, everybody, this party's paid for by this sponsor, and it, like this plays the ad of the TV.
Dude, if I
So
go to somebody's
everyone,
health
make
party
sure to
with
look at the
20
camera.
people and there's a
Yeah.
sponsor, I'm gonna physically assault somebody. Are you
He gave us
shitting me?
$50 for this. That is all that. More eye contact, the better. Thanks. Everybody, take a turn before you walk in to look at the ad. Thanks.
Yeah. Excuse anybody interested? Did you look at the TV? Did you look at it?
You need to spend another 10 seconds before you can take your shoes off. That's so weird.
Huh.
Yeah, and I think when you get it, you have to like put in your demographics so it can be targeted.
Yeah. It
So like
says,
you,
where did it say?
It's weird because I'm sure the TV's shit, and I'm sure it's like a $200 TV, or like how big is it?
yeah, it's probably not going to be the highest quality
55?
panel.
I mean, it says it's
4K
4K
HDR.
HDR, but like that.
I mean, you can get a
fucking-
cheap for like that's the
Yeah,
standard
that's
now
like the
for even
standard.
yeah.
I mean,
you
it's
can,
probably not OLED, right? Yeah.
it's yeah you can get $500 TVs that are 4K HDR 55-inch. Like
Okay. Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
not going to be a good one, but yeah. And HDR, oh, I have a whole thing about that. It's like that's a stretch depending on what brand you get. Like
Oh
I'll call anything
god,
HDR
yeah.
these days.
Right.
Yeah, there's no like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know too much about HDR. Okay, I know about HDR, but I don't know like too much about the implementation and delivery systems for television.
Honestly, me neither. Yeah.
I imagine I know what it does. Like I imagine it's just like the camera, the screens are ultra bright, and they just kind of remap the curve so it just lets
Yeah.
those super
That's
bright
probably
pixels
something
show off.
we should learn about.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just there'll be an article that some tech person has written. We just read that and we're like, oh.
Yeah.
I feel like HDR is super overrated, but
I honestly don't. I just think it's overrated because of these brands. Like I've been privileged to see like the true HDR of like
the
all because
actual
like one of the
HDR.
projects I worked on was very HDR centric and it looks absolutely crazy, but no one has that.
Yeah.
A
So
really bright
Also,
TV.
like none of the delivery
yeah.
systems, like Netflix or whatever, are willing to do the actual data that comes with.
Does
4K
Netflix not have HDR?
I mean, there's
There's-
HDR, but it's like, and Disney Plus is the same. But I can tell you for a fact that I know it's ultra compressed. You know what I mean? Like as soon as you start going above quote unquote 1 into that HDR territory, I know it's fucking like it's it's
Wait,
not
wait,
great.
I was curious on where you got this information because that's is this like from a YouTuber or something?
No.
Hmm.
No. I was talking to somebody about it.
So you're leaking. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was talking to the head HDR person at Blizzard Entertainment.
I was talking to Mr. HDR.
I was talking to Mr. Beast about it.
HDR.
And he said, "Who are you? Get out of my apartment." And then I was escorted out. But
Why is
I
Mr. Beast
did
in the
talk to him
apartment?
about it. Have you seen?
Oh, I was in
God.
apartment building, right?
He probably owns. Yeah, he owns the whole building. Have you seen like I saw like an office tour he did, and he was like, "Here's my office," and it's like an office, and the camera pans to a right, and there's a weight
Yeah.
rack, like a squat rack, and then his bed, and he's like, "This is where I live." Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He's crazy. I mean, whatever, man. Make your billions. Good for him. But yeah.
I know he's gonna run for president. I know it's gonna be a whole ordeal when it happens.
Oh,
God.
I know it's be a nice.
Is he gonna run for president in the next like 5 years or like in 50 years?
Oh, I'm thinking at least as like a video, like at least run. Enter all
Yes,
you know what I mean?
that's totally right. Yeah, he's gonna run and then he's gonna get fuckloads of like B-roll from all the news places reporting on it. He'll do like some
There's gonna be so much
parades.
footage.
Yeah,
and then everyone's be mad at
yeah.
him for like stealing votes of something for whoever would have.
Well, at least all his viewers are old enough to vote.
Whoa. Actually, that's not the case anymore now, man. This person owns, was it 10% of the population of the earth? No, it's less than
Oh god.
that, but something crazy. Anyways, let's go with Mr. Beast. Tell us, Kade, about the New York.
Yeah, how was New York? So for people that weren't wondering, Kade went to New York Technically, it was to fight a human civil rights dispute he's involved in with slaves in the Middle East. But he also took some photos.
Uh-huh.
Did you? Did you take photos?
I did, yeah. I took a bunch. I haven't edited any yet, but I'm sure I could
Mm.
throw them up when I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good trip.
What was it? What was day one? What was day one? How
Day-
was the traveling? The last day of
Oh,
Oh
traveling?
yeah, how are the? What did you do direct or were you layover
No,
somewhere?
both there and back.
Would
We
you
had to
have
stop
rather been
at
in a
the-
hospital?
Yeah, no, I'm not as psychotic as Kolton. We had a fine time in the airport. Yeah, with both traveling there and back was fine. The day we landed, we found out that the airline we took, WestJet, was supposed to go on strike the day they were supposed to fly home. So we're like, great, now we have that looming over us the whole trip. And it wasn't until like the day before we flew home that they like I think they like were on strike, but they weren't going to do any walkouts till like 2 days after we got home. We're like, okay, thank God, don't have to pay. I looked at
Fucking-
flights too, and it was like the only like ones that were like left or like that were popping up at the time were like $2,000. I was like, fantastic.
Yeah,
But-
great. I remember fucking WestJet. Oh, look who's here, you piece of shit.
It's
I
too late,
remember WestJet. There's been 3 times in my life where, for some reason, we've either had to change flights or like some fucked thing has happened with a vacation. I think twice we've completely canceled stuff, and it's all because of WestJet. Like WestJet went under. Oh, I don't know when this was. Oh God, like early mid 2000s. WestJet went under like for the first time while we were in San Diego, so we had to like get new flights. And then there's been 2 weddings my family has missed because
Oh,
WestJet
jeez.
has been like, yeah, we're not doing that flight anymore. And it's like, well, it's gonna cost like 15 grand to do any other way, so we're
Yeah.
just not coming, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. WestJet's complete trash.
I never actually flew WestJet before.
They're awful. Don't. They got bought out.
Mm.
I think they've been bought and sold like twice, but they're still just complete garbage.
I only really fly charters.
Yeah, of course
Uh-huh.
you do, you
Uh-huh.
prick.
You only take the PJs nowadays.
I only take might be 21.
Okay.
Nice. Good joke.
Uh-huh. Somebody played Flight Simulator once.
I always know if that is a plane. I just stick to
Okay. I don't know either.
yeah,
Sounded real.
right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So day
was good.
2, yeah.
Yeah, day one when we
What's
got there, we went.
Oh wait,
checked
how
out
long were you there? You were there 7
Uh,
days, 6 days?
6 days, but like the first and last
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
like traveling pretty much. So the first night we checked out Times Square, which is cool, very bright. And we just had a drink
Very
somewhere. We
bright.
went. There's lots of billboards, like everywhere you look.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's funny. We
then-
were just talking about how ads are suck, and then like that's like the biggest glorification of ads, isn't it?
yeah, it is just a. Yeah, it is. It's kind of funny to see like all like the tourists go like, ooh, all the ads, ooh. It is cool to see.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah.
So that was pretty much the first day. Then the second day, we went to a Yankees game, which was really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Some
Where are they
decent seats. It was,
Can you get some sunflower seeds?
no.
They sell sunflower seeds. Is that wait what?
Wait, Kolton. Oh,
Wait,
hi.
Kolton, that's like the baseball thing you do. You get
Yeah.
sunflower seeds and watch
I
the
thought it was
game.
like just like normal popcorn or like
They
peanuts.
got
my
that too.
gosh.
what? Oh my God, Colton.
Yeah,
Even I know
peanuts.
this.
Yeah, peanuts.
I've watched
Sunflower
baseball. I've
seeds
watched
are
like 4 baseball
Caramel
games in my life.
corn.
Yeah.
sunflower
Yeah,
seeds.
Okay,
Those
I've
are
never heard of that.
your. This is your.
If you look in the
Sweet
dugouts at any baseball game, it's just a whole bunch of fucking degenerates chewing and spitting sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
That's
And-
pretty funny.
I actually like sunflower seeds.
Oh, I like them too.
Once you get into them.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
So restaurant foods. Tell us
Yeah.
food tour.
But
Okay, so,
food tour.
so Yankees, and then did you
Yankees,
go to
yep.
a whole bunch of restaurants, or was it just like let's eat here?
Not too. We only usually ate like breakfast for most of the breakfast places. We got like we went to a different bagel place every morning.
Yeah.
Try to find a really good bagel. So
Nice.
the first place we went ended up being the best, and then the other ones were they were good too, but we ended up going back to the first place the last day for another
Any
bagel.
names? Any names? Any
Uh,
shout outs?
the first place we went to, it was called just Best Bagel and Coffee. We're like, okay, this place would be like maybe okay. We went in, it was the best one. The other ones we went to, I think Brooklyn Bagel and then Liberty Bagel. I think Liberty Bagel was more of a chain, which was our least favorite.
Cool.
Yeah. And then for other food, we went to a couple Italian places. One was, I think it was called Pasta Lovers. It was very okay. It was very,
Yeah.
it was just fine. Like it kind of tasted just like anything that like you could have made, like just noodles with like a jar of sauce kind of poured in. We're like, this
Yeah.
is fine. The second place we went to, I forget what it was called. It was like an Italian name, and that was fucking delicious.
Mm.
Where else did we go for
Pasta
dinner?
Lovers doesn't sound like a very nice name.
It had good reviews. It had a lot of good reviews. We're like, all right.
Mm.
Was it like
But-
cheap?
It wasn't. It was about the same as everywhere else, which was all
That's weird.
fairly expensive, but it wasn't like cheap.
Right, right. Cool.
Yeah.
You went to see some shows, yeah?
Yep. We went to. What did we do? We went to our last night we saw Aladdin on Broadway, which was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Definitely glad I went for that over Lion King.
How did they do the genie?
They had an actor. He was really good too. But then to like when he like summoned him for the first time, he like there was like a spinning section on the floor, like completely flat, and then like a hole the size of like the man's body, where like they like put out smoke, and then like he would like rotate and come out of the hole of the stage, which is pretty cool. They did a bunch of stuff too with like you know, like Genie kind of breaking like the third wall. Like he would talk to us a lot of the time. Or like one time when Aladdin walked off at him, he said he can't work like this, and he took out like this long dainty scarf and like wrapped it around, put sunglasses on, and then just a single door came up with a star that said Genie on it, and he walked through and slammed the door, and like the lights went out. He said he trailer. And then like later when he came back again, it was like when Aladdin was like chained up like on a wall, and then he finally called Genie back again, and then it turns out Genie was behind that wall, and the thing opened up in a door and like slammed somebody closed. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
It was
I
great.
love that.
That's cool.
Magic carpet.
Was a
Oh,
magic
magic
carpet
carpet.
just 6 people standing on a carpet?
No, it was actually floating around the stage. It was pretty cool.
Oh wow.
That's
You can
awesome.
see
I would have
wires
loved
and
it
everything.
if they just were
Motorized,
standing
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
carpet, like pulling the edges,
Yeah.
going
Just,
wee,
pushing it around.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was cool. Then outside of that, we went to a spy museum. I think it's called Spyscape, which is pretty
Mhm.
cool. There's
Ooh.
also a Batman thing. So like you go through and they have like a bunch of like kind of like old. They had some like real artifacts of like spy stuff, but then they had a lot of props from the Imitation Game, which was Benedict
cool.
Cumberbatch. They had like the big
Yeah,
code
yeah.
breaker machine thing, which is cool. And
Oh
then,
yeah.
yeah, through it they had like a bunch of like kind of like mini games you played where like they would ask you questions, or like there was like a lie detector thing, and then there was like one room where you go through like trying to touch lasers, whatever. At the end it would tell you what kind of spy you were, kind of gimmicky, but it was fun. And then they had a Batman one tacked onto it too, which was sounded cool, but it was kind of it was all like you downloaded an app and you were like texting with Oracle through your phone to like solve the mystery. But it worked pretty good, but I think because there was like another group right in front of us that were like kind of slow, like the timing of things didn't work. So like we were in
Mm.
a room, and then like she would just stop talking to us and be like, "Oh, what's like we have no idea what to do." And then like she came back like 2 minutes later, like, "Oh, like the lights went out. Like, you okay?" We're like, "The lights did not go out." And then like I think we just have to wait. And we waited like 5 minutes, and then the lights like shut down and came back on. We're like, "Oh, that was supposed to happen a long time ago." And then we just kept following it through. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a bunch of touristy stuff. Walked the Brooklyn Bridge.
The biggest
Yeah,
thing with the vendors there on the bridge itself, I'm always curious about like how profitable it is because just like random knickknacks and shit.
I mean, they do it every day. It's got to be
Yeah.
something like maybe
I've
it's their
seen
day
some
off,
videos
their
of
real
those
job,
guys, and they put up like pretty big numbers, but it's New York, so it's not like
yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
Very
big numbers. So
populated.
it's not, you know.
You taking
Did you take some
taxis?
photos of Spider-Man?
Yeah, no,
Hey,
no, we didn't take a
fuckers.
single taxi or Uber. We just used the subway the whole time.
Did you see any of the shooting of the Joker? The Joker, the
No.
Joker 2, baby.
I didn't. It would
Damn.
have been done by
What
the
was
time I
that,
went.
That's
Kolton?
fun.
Did you see any shootings in general?
What do you mean by shootings? Movies, or are you talking?
You know what I'm talking about.
Talking everyday life in America.
Did you see any New York wildlife?
No. Well,
Oh.
I only saw one rat. Only one rat. And it wasn't that big.
Oh,
I saw
Was it the
bigger ones
size
in
of a
Vancouver.
child? Okay.
No. I've seen bigger ones here.
Wow. That's
Yep.
disappointing. There's a favorite video I have of somebody being like, ew, a dead rat. And they like kick it to the side and like they kick it towards a wall. And at the bottom of the wall, there's a gap that's like 6 inches, right? And this fucking rat that's the size of a child, you just see its head come out and like just chomp on this dead little rat and then just disappear. And it's like, what the fuck is under? Oh my god! Like it's insane. Like you see like its paw come, you realize it's a rat as it's disappearing. You're like, that thing's 4 feet long.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not that long, but it was like, holy Jesus.
Oh, another thing was like the people driving around New York. People like drive in New York like how like people walk around in like Vancouver. Where like if it's like a yellow, like oh fuck, I'll just start walking or whatever. If it's like a red or something, but you're like fuck it, I'm halfway through. I'm just gonna keep going. Or like they're just like
Ruthless.
yeah.
It's aggressive. You
Yeah.
got to be aggressive in that. What
No,
I
it was
hear.
like our first day. We were like waiting for the things, and people were just walking around us. And it was like an hour later, like there's no card, like let's just go, or like it's like just turn. We're like, all right, we're walking. Or also, if like like 50 people start crossing the street, you're like, well, they're not gonna hit all of us. Let's just go.
That's crazy. Jesus.
You're not going to hit all of us.
High score.
Yeah.
Chain kill 48.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, so you just did a lot of touristy stuff. You went to the Comedy Cellar, yeah?
Oh right, yeah. We went to the Comedy Cellar. That was out in like what is it, Greenwich? Is that what it's called, Greenwich Village?
Well, I don't know.
Which is cool. That's like that's also where like the friend's apartment is. Like not like the actual one they
That's
filmed
cool.
in, but like the ones where like it transition between scenes and they film outside a building, like that
Yeah.
building. That
Mhm.
was cool. Saw that. Yeah, Comedy Cellar was really cool.
Is the fountain that they dance around in also nearby, or is it
Actually,
completely different?
you know what? We sat around a fountain while we were waiting for the Comedy Cellar, and it's probably that one because it was like 5 minutes away from the friend's house. I didn't even think of that. So probably.
That's pretty funny.
Actually, yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
Comedy
pretty
Cellar
cool,
was
bro.
cool. Yeah.
I've never really given a shit. I don't know. I feel like everyone wants to go to New York, and I feel like it sounds fun, but I'm like, I'd rather sit at the beach. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so lazy.
Yeah,
piece of
that's
shit.
fine.
It's just
I've always wanted to
think of
go.
it as a hit list of places to go. You know?
Like, dude,
There's lots of places to go.
The grocery store.
Like
the
I
beach.
would want to go a lot of places, but I wouldn't cut New York out of the list. You know what I mean?
I feel like New York's a place that, yeah. I mean, yeah. It'd be cool if there was a bunch of shows I wanted to see. That would be fun. I feel like.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, like
guess we
even
don't
if
have
like
baseball here.
you want to
We
go
just see
somewhere
baseball.
else, like if you have you plan for like a day or two there where you just go check out like see a cool building, go to a lookout. Like we went to the top of the Rockefeller Center, so you have a good view.
Yeah.
That was cool. But then see a show
Did
or
you
something.
see
then get out.
that billionaire tower, whatever they talk about?
Oh, they're so ugly. They're like little, just like toothpicks.
Oh, is that what those were? Yeah, they are
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they just like sway in the wind. Apparently they like sway a lot in the wind, and they're just there for like a tax purposes and stuff. Like no one really lives in them. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it just seemed, I don't know. To me, they're an eyesore, but I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
they
the
did.
point
They
of
were
everything.
kind of ugly. Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. Yeah, that was about it. A couple cocktail bars. That was fun.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Yep.
Glad you had a great time.
Thanks.
Should have our trip soon.
Yeah, gotta plan that out.
Anyways,
Well,
hey Colton.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you for
Colton.
being late.
It's time to decide your
Yeah,
punishment.
I'm late. Yeah,
That's
punish.
no, that's only
punish
one
me.
demerit, bro. Oh god, don't fucking. That's only
No,
a
yeah,
demerit.
sorry.
I think we said 3 demerits, and then you got to sing poetry about us.
Something
I think
like
that's
that.
what you said. So
I have
you're
to
on the
write
list.
poetry. Okay.
You have to write poetry about all of us and sing it on the podcast.
I don't think we said sing.
Okay,
But-
you have to perform it on the podcast. You can sing if you
Yeah.
want. If you want to write a rap song, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Sure. I can
Do we
actually,
say-
that'd be fun.
Do we say maybe we say cameras on for reading poetry as well?
Oh
Sure.
my god,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Put you on center stage.
All right. Let's do it.
We need
Yeah.
another channel to track demerits.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
Kolton. I do believe you left us off last week
Mhm.
with some topics that you didn't get to.
I
Oh,
did.
Do you remember
I
what
did.
those are?
Oh,
I don't. Not at
ouch,
all. It's been
so
2
hard.
weeks, or at least for our time.
Oh,
frame.
it has been 2
It has,
weeks.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
forgot.
It has been. But I do have some other things to talk about lately that
Alright.
have been really pissing me off.
Oh, really?
3D printers are the worst fucking things ever. I've literally spent the last 2 days, 8 hours. I've just 10 hours. I'm just trying to level this fucking bed to get a proper 1 layer for this 3D print that I'm doing, and it's been so insufferable to the point where it's like you get it somewhat working, and then for some reason either the spool holder just fucks up, the filament doesn't come out properly, that like either doesn't adhere properly to the plate, so it's just always something. Maybe it's a me problem and I'm just fucking stupid. It could be that, or it's just I'm been at it for so long.
Are you
It's
using-
working now.
Are you using Calvin's 3D printer that's been collecting dust for
No,
years?
I'm using my own. Like I think I have it working now, but it's just such a it's such a time hassle to get it done once right. And I think when you get there, it's great, but the amount of time and fiddling that I've had to do and research of this fucking thing is just like ticking me off. So I've literally gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'll buy another resin printer or something that will just do it for me. Or if actually, I'm curious if there's something that has like a
Is it gonna be like a
self-leveling system.
Yeah,
Some
some
low
of them
quality one,
do.
maybe?
Some of them do.
low?
Yeah. In
Like,
any
is it
case,
just because it's a cheap one or something? Maybe.
it's an older one. I got it in 2016, so in 3D printer years, it's
Oh,
probably
God,
like
that's
fucking.
pretty old.
yeah.
It's
I
very
mean, that
very
is
old.
like-
Yeah,
That's like
Yeah.
what, 9 years old? No.
That's like when it was
Way
still
back.
kind of a new thing.
yeah.
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 So I've definitely
Even
I
my
probably should
Prusa
upgrade.
is a few years newer than that.
Yeah, it probably is time.
Yeah. So it's not worth it anymore. This one, I've been dealing with too much shit lately, so I think I gone insane. Some
Well,
sanity
there's
is
also
gone.
there's also the whole fucking humidity and temperature problems that are like just so bad if you don't have AC or anything,
Mm.
which makes like 3D printing so much fucking worse. Like even if you're just printing like PLA or something simple, you can still have like massive inconsistencies if you're 10 degrees off and a couple points off on humidity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which like like do you have AC? Like I don't know. Yeah. It's no good. No
What are
bueno.
you
Yeah.
trying to print?
Yeah.
Cosplay shit.
No.
Oh,
That-
God. The way he said it made me
If
sad.
you
Yeah.
said cosplay as soon as he answered, I would not have thought anything suspicious.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
now
yeah.
Yeah.
The way you said it is
Well,
like
you
you're
thought
about to
about
print
just
dog
saying, oh,
ears.
just tests and stuff, but you thought about it. You're like, you know what? I'll open up. I'll say it.
He's
For those
printing like a dog
viewers who
ears.
don't know, I've been
Oh,
roasted
God.
by these people all continuously throughout my life about my cosplays.
I don't think you need to explain to the viewers why you get roasted for your cosplays. I feel like you're
Yeah.
definitely printing dog ears and like a strap on. And I feel like you're gonna be like, it's my Halloween costume, haha. Does anyone want to use it on me? Haha.
Didn't deny it.
I've guessed it accurately. What could I say?
No,
what
I'm
what
making
are you?
Elden Ring cosplay, melting like a full-on armor set.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
The Crucible.
I'm
like-
really
it's
having-
probably-
Have you ever finished any of these cosplays?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mirak. Yeah.
Mhm.
My silicon 3D
Calvin,
printer
have you
really-
even taken your 3D printer out of the box?
Hey, I'm not pretending I use it. I just
Hey, you
the
should just
problem
give
was
yours
I
to
ordered
Kolton.
it and then like it was like 3 months later. I mean, I said Colton can come pick it up if he
No,
wants
yeah,
to use it.
but yeah, I haven't done that. I've been trying to focus on getting mine to actually work first before I get another one to dream
that's
over.
fair.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have filament for it. I don't know.
Oh,
don't know
I
what's in
have all the
box.
filament and stuff. It's just
Yeah,
if it's in the box, it should work.
it's in the box.
But in any
You
case,
do have to assemble it,
yeah, that's fine.
like from scratch.
Oh, from
Yes, that's the whole thing with person.
oh, what the fuck?
Is you have to. You can either it's either like $800 or like $1,400 or $1,200. And if
Okay.
you go with a cheaper one, you just build it yourself. And I was like, that sounds like a good idea. So I know how it works. So when I need to level the bed, it's easy, and I don't spend 2 days trying to do it.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised when you're like, I'll do it. And I'm like, really? It's gonna take a lot.
Yeah, I didn't think of I thought it was just a plug and play. No, it's no.
I think also, no offense, but I think at this point, thinking 3D printers are plug and play is a bit. It's not gonna. I don't think. I mean, some resin printers actually, I think are.
Yeah.
That's resin, and that's like they're your entry level resin is. Oh, it might have come down now, but I'm imagining it's like at least $3,000. Anyways,
Honestly, at this point, I'd literally spend that money with all the fucking stress I've gone through.
yeah, but it's not like resin's
It
perfect
is
either.
No, it's
Probably
not
worth
cheap.
it too. High quality.
No. Mhm.
Yeah, Pete. It sounds like you are.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what's your topics,
Anyways.
Colton? What did you?
So
That
that was
was-
one of them. Just
That was
bitching
one of
about
them.
3D printers.
Oh right.
Oh yeah. Any? Well, I remember it now. Any books that you guys would recommend at the moment? I was been reading one for screenwriting.
You know, all the
That's what it
books
was
I
for us.
read are like shit that I started years ago, and they're still coming out. And goddamn, they're all garbage. But I'm like so committed to the story. I've got a couple that are just like horrendous, and it's like we're on book 16. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And they are not
Mm.
good. Yeah,
I've
definitely.
been
not
listening to
good.
Dune. I've been enjoying.
Oh, yeah?
I was just gonna
Nice.
say, listen to all the Dune books. They're really good. Dune is a funny one. I think I've talked about this before, but it's like so funny when you go and listen to Dune or read Dune. I mean, I feel like everyone listens to books these days, but when you go like read Dune, it feels so full of tropes and it feels so generic sci-fi.
But it was
Because
the.
it was
It
the
was-
first one.
yeah.
Yeah. It and I can't remember what there's like 2 other books. I can't fucking remember that are like the kind of the definition of what modern sci-fi, kind of the Star Wars era of sci-fi is, and Dune is like definitely one of them.
Right.
Dune is the
I
sci-fi
still
of Lord
found-
of the Rings to mythology. You know, like it's.
Maybe I don't listen to or read a lot of sci-fi or whatever. I felt Dune was just different feeling. I don't know. I was
If
listening
you've
to it.
watched like when I read it, it was just like, what the hell? They're just ripping off Star Trek and Star Wars here. Yeah, it's pretty close. There's also a couple. If you've read a couple, actually, yeah, like I've read like 3 or 4 sci-fi series, and they're all same vein, like very similar. You know, all politics and corruption and massive shenanigans at a cosmic level.
Andrews.
I feel like does anyone even listen to books anymore? Does anyone? pay for
I still pay for Audible and I still rack up my books. But
I
find
still listen to
Audible
books.
is like every couple times a year I'll go and I'll listen to a series, and that's kind of it though.
yeah.
Well, Kari's
I
over here
listen to-
masturbating to self-help books. That doesn't count.
No. I've been doing
I
all
have-
fictional and stuff.
Oh, fictional self-help.
Yeah, fictional stuff like that. No, but I told you guys on my one before, like there's I like the math ones and the science ones. It's always fun. I just fall asleep to audiobooks. So
Oh, did you ever go over that book, Calvin? The science one depict or
Let's not
talking
get
about-
into it.
Oh, the one that
Yeah,
Kari
stop it,
misunderstood.
All right, well,
yeah,
you know,
no,
I
I
haven't-
have
Colton, I haven't had a
I have
chance.
on recording that
Alright.
you admit I was right. So yeah. So
Yeah. I
That's
said
our
you're
record.
probably right, but I'm gonna go
Yeah.
listen to it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Car's right.
whoa.
Uh,
Just the book that I've always been reading recently. It's called The Hero Within, and
Is it a nonfiction self-help book? Because that sounds like a nonfiction self-help
it's
book.
both.
Is there-
It's regarding more so screenwriting and how just like characters go through certain archetypes. It can also be applied to like everyday life, but it's just kind of
you
it
said
also
that to me too. Yeah, I like
it's
that.
it's really cool because it draws upon the work of Carl Jung, who's one of the leading psychologists that everyone fucking knows. Like Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey based his work on Carl Jung's like studies, and also this book that it does as well. So it has like a very like human
I thought Carl Jung was a musician.
No, he was a psychologist. But it's like it to like just briefly talk about it. It's kind of like it goes into the 6 archetypes, which are like innocent, orphan, wanderer, warrior, martyr, and magician.
Oh,
And
this
it's kind of
sounds
like
super scientific.
it's very scientific, but it's really cool too, in the sense that like, for example, like in our
It's
daily
talking
lives,
about writing characters.
yeah, we're writing
Yeah, okay.
characters, and also it's a tool for like self-reflection and personal development. So yes, there's that self-help
Jesus Christ.
part you can take from it, but it's like just really good for writing characters. Like for example, you have like, we'll just do Batman because he's the easiest one to talk about. He started out as an orphan, obviously, and then became a wanderer, has to like find his purpose kind of thing, becomes the warrior. He's like Batman himself fighting everything. Martyr, he like sacrifices himself for the. A magician is kind of like something you've learned along the way, and you kind of like this new power you come and give back to like the kingdom or whatever. So it's just, oh, and then the innocent is just like your I guess before the orphan, or it's just something that you've
He's also an Aries.
taken. Sorry.
I said he's also an Aries.
No, it doesn't
So
take.
that helps with the writing. I have such a rant against shit like that where I'm not okay. I'm ripping on you. Well, I'm not ripping on the book. I think I have such a rant against trying to simplify something that's so complex into like a 6-step process.
But it's
I
not a
think
6-step
it's-
prox. They actually
No,
they
no,
go
yeah,
into
this is
really
a-
like in depth. I'm like, it's like frameworks of just 6 archetypes, and like it'll talk about like like the cause and effect of like why you would start out this way. Why does this person do like have this point of view? And it's kind of, and it stems from just how people are brought up and whatnot in life. And it's just, it's not like over encompassing. It's just they go very specific. These are just the kind of guidelines, and they're predominantly for writing too. So yeah, it is really, it's really well done.
Yeah.
Sounds,
Yeah, I get what Calvin's saying too, where there's like some,
Yeah.
there's some other. I think it could be those steps, not steps, but like I think it's
They're
always
just
good to have like
archetypes. They're just like
the structures.
Yeah,
Yeah, the structure. You
yeah.
still, yeah. I think what Calvin's talking about is I think it sounded like it was one of those. Oh, just add this, your character stuff.
Oh yeah, you need
But,
it needs to be
yeah.
an orphan and this, and then you need.
No, it doesn't have to
character
be
this.
this.
and
It's just,
and
it's like
this.
these are
He's just
types
saying
of.
Oh,
general
so it
ideas.
doesn't have
Yeah.
to be that. So they're just
Yeah,
random ideas.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's like, again, also the hero's journey. It's like usually this is how it starts. Like there's an orphan, or like you're orphaned in some sense. It's like it's a sense of disconnection and isolation. So it doesn't mean that you're actually an orphan. It could be who are alone and seek to belong to a larger community or family. That's basically what it is. And then yeah, as you wander, it's like individuals seek to explore new experiences, find their place in the world.
It's like
Kind
Kolton's
of
about
like
to start writing young adult novels about the next Harry Potter. Dude, that sounds like so many shitty young adult novels that I've read. It's just this specifically the orphaning thing you're saying, where it's just like, no, Jimmy was a kid who couldn't fit in, but Jimmy was also Jesus Christ, and is the second coming and the most powerful wizard ever. It's like, fuck me, shut up.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that generic.
No,
but it's
I was
it's
just
a
like, you
basis,
talking
yeah.
about it made me think about all these shitty books.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah.
I hope you become a writer just so I can shit on you. I'll still
I
shit
mean,
on you even if you
did
don't.
write one
but-
thing.
Did you? No, but I meant
Yeah,
like a
Already-
published
already
novelist.
roasted you
I don't
for
mean to
it, too.
fucking. Yeah. You want me to roast you more?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a new thing, right? I haven't read this, right?
Oh yeah, you could scroll up and see it.
Oh, I'll have to do my homework. I'll rush you next week.
Don't say it, Kolton. Don't say it.
Sorry, I
Kate.
didn't see anything.
It's Kolton's $1 million idea. He's gonna get 100,000 subs in 2 weeks.
Oh Jesus.
It'll be
Wait,
really fucking
okay.
funny when you do
All right.
get
No,
100,000 subs, and I'll be like,
we're talking
"Yo, bro,
about it.
can
We're
I
talking
comp
about
for
it.
you?"
I said, okay, I understand what Kari was saying and what Calvin's saying. I
I'm
was
just
saying
roasting you.
that
I'm
100.
just
No, I get it. But 100,000 goal like subs is like a goal in mind. But what Kari explained that makes more sense is like an attainable goal of like putting
Yeah,
at least one
if
thing
that's
out a
your
month.
long-term goal,
Yeah.
I feel like that's fine.
Yeah, but it's just like to actually like how did you explain it, Corey?
Yeah.
Like obtain it
A goal that you can
Yeah.
achievable and measure.
and
like,
measure.
without-
That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you can't measure it because it's you don't know what the algorithms and shit or how good your short or your stuff is. It's just yeah.
Ugh.
You
Yeah.
can still win it. Yeah, it's the wrong with like.
Yeah.
I will
Still want it, but it's a goal
Yeah.
that is
It's kind of scary just to be chasing numbers. I mean, I think a lot
That's
of
true.
big influencers and YouTubers have talked about just the chasing numbers idea and just how toxic it is.
that's true. In the end, do it for fun.
Do it for fun. Yeah, who gives
do
a
it for
shit?
money.
Who
That's
gives
what
a shit? The American in the group. Do it for fucking cash. Cold hard cash. If you're not getting something, you're not getting. If relationships are only transactional, I need some cold hard cash on my desk.
That's
now.
actually
You don't
funny.
see
You
people,
bring
I
that
see
up.
pawns.
You see pawns.
You see people, I see
American.
pawns.
It was actually funny when I recently went to New York as well in Boston, where it's like you see everyone and then they also do it here too in Canada. It's like everyone's on their laptops, doing the grind, working whenever they can, doing side hustles or whatever. And one of my friends who recently lived in like Poland and other places in Europe, it's like you hardly see that shit. And if anything, they're kind of like, why do you have a laptop in a cafe? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I read
Why are you working?
The other day I was reading some like accounts of what's this like living in America from like Europeans, and the thing that came up in like every single post was them saying like Americans view as every relationship is transactional. And I was like, oh shit, yeah. I feel like that's like very Canadian as well. At least Toronto and Vancouver, like any big city, I think it's just going to be that.
Yeah.
Such a rat race.
Yeah, I think there's gonna
And
be
that sounds
probably a
like-
lot of that.
Is this
It's
worth
probably
my
just
time?
big city. I'm sure you can go to some places in America, middle of nowhere.
And I'm sure it's
So-
also that whole bias of the people you're interviewing's got something to say.
They got something
Right.
to bitch about.
Uh,
Oh, the American's defending himself. Oh, wow.
no, I'm not defending. I'm just saying it's. I feel like
I feel like when somebody brings up side hustles and they're like, we should get working on this, even if they're not being like fucking meme lord crypto bro, I'm just like, I want to dig a knife into my face before I do like some side hustle. Like I don't know. I just can't give a fuck. I would rather just
you're doing
do
a side
more
hustle right now,
more.
Calvin.
I'm doing this because it's fun, you dickhead. I
It's
swear to
not
God.
clicking for you yet.
Okay, Kari, tell you what, all the money I make from this in the next 5 years,
So
I'll
that's-
donate
is
to
it-
charity. Go fuck yourself.
Oh really?
All the money in the next
is
5
this-
years. All the money in the next 5 years, I'll donate to charity from this. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I want to get some fine print here. Do you mean this video or from
From
anything,
sometimes something, the channel. Next 5 years, all the money I've donated to charity. Unless it's a lot, then I'll go back on my word because
No,
fuck charity.
no. It's too late. It's already been.
Oh shit! It's already been said.
In fact, the podcast ended a few seconds ago. Be cut
You're
off.
not gonna make any money from that. If you're listening, please stop. This isn't good.
It's as soon as it takes off, Calvin's just gonna tank us. Like, no.
No. Fuck you. I'm just gonna pay people to cancel me.
Oh no! Think about that.
Kalel, no.
I started playing
Yeah, Calvin, tell us your game corner.
my little game corner. Okay, so
For making games?
The Starship.
What
Shut
do
up.
you think?
What do you think? Fucking. Yeah, me doing something productive? Get out of here. So, Starship Troopers, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. I
Oh
think
yeah,
you
that
guys
game.
told me-
Oh yeah.
Colton, it's fun as fuck, bro. If you want
Ooh.
to come play with me, it's there's problems with it, like it's kind of buggy and it doesn't run that well, but it's so much stupid fun. Okay, I think the Starship Troopers just released like a first person, a PVE, 16 players against hordes of bugs, and it is so much dumb fun. I think there's such a huge like everything right now is like PvP, like all the big games. Like if you think of all of the big games that are in the last like 5-6 years, they're all PvP. Like everything that has a record number of concurrent players constantly, like years later, they're all PvP. It's not even close. I think there's such a market of fun, challenging but not like insanely difficult PvE content for like people of like teams of like 4 to 16 people. I think it's ridiculous. This has been so much fun. It's just people yelling quotes from the movie at each other while we kill bugs for like
I'm
you
free
know,
Saturday. Do you
20
want to play it
minutes.
then?
Yes, I will play it. I
Okay, I'll
have
buy it.
played like 20 hours. It's all I did this weekend. It runs kind of like shit. I literally have it turned all the way down.
Sorry, it's Extermination, right?
Starship Troopers Extermination. Yeah, it's first person. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, go.
It is oodles of fun, bro. You're just shooting bugs, and it's been impressive. The missions are like different. There's like a couple maps, I think, but everything's like randomized. So the places that you start, and yeah, it's usually like you're doing different objectives, and eventually it ends with like a 5 minute holdout in a base that all of the players built together, and then at the end you have to run and do like an extract where like people are like dying left and right as you're trying to, and there's no respawns as you're trying to like run for the dropship. It's great. It's absolutely stellar. One of the problems that I think like
Do we
COD
all want to play
Zombies have.
this? This is really fun.
I was trying to
fun.
convince him last weekend.
Okay, well I
You
got
know,
it.
It's
So.
fun. Yeah, dope, dude. Yeah, it was so much fun. I think there's been like COD Zombies is another example, but COD Zombies these days, if you play like the latest Zombies, it's so complicated. If you played Zombies back in the day, you know how there's always secrets to like unlock all these different areas and like
Yeah, it's so fun.
you know what I mean? But nowadays you have to know all that shit, and people expect you to play like COD Zombies at such a high level because there's not really any way to extract. You know, it's just go as long as you can.
Kade,
But like
Eh.
this is like a 15-minute.
do we have a Twitch channel? Sorry.
Yes.
Do we have a
We
Twitch
used to- we-
channel?
we used to
Did you
stream
just ask
Kolton.
that?
Oh yeah, we did. we did used to do that. I feel like we should start that up again if we're talking about
we
games. I
should.
think that'll be fun.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
came to our game nights ever, it'd be great.
Oh, I've been socializing a lot, and then these next 2
Don't
weekends
have
I'll
a
be.
life, Colton. You.
This
bastard.
weekend I am not socializing, so I will do. I will do that.
Yeah, cool. No, dude, it's just fun. You just get stuck in and you pull out an assault rifle and you go kill bugs.
Okay.
It's cool. You gotta. It's yeah. It's balanced pretty well. It's definitely a bit buggy and stuff, and it's still early days. Yeah. But I'm hoping it. There's like I'm getting matches of, excuse me, 16 people in 20 seconds. So
Nice.
it's been a lot of fun. I think there's a huge audience. I don't know how many other PvE games y'all have played, but like PvE with like 10 people is so much fucking fun. Like
Mhm.
back in the day, I played oh my god, I've forgotten what it's called. It was like a zombie game.
Left for
Killing
Dead.
Floor. No, Killing Floor. Because Killing Floor, there would be lobbies with like mods where it would be just 20 people in like this high-rise building, and all we were doing, it wasn't interesting, there was no strategy. We would just sit on the balconies and we would just use grenade launchers to murder all the zombies. And we would sit there for 3 hours. Like just absolutely so brain dumb, numb, stupid. But because you're hanging out with a bunch of people doing the shit and just shooting up monsters, it's just the right level of engagement. Yeah, I think there's a huge market for it. I mean, if you look at the amount of PvE content that's done compared to PvP in PvE games like Destiny or like any MMO, fucking huge amounts of PvE are done. And I think
Yeah.
I think there needs to be more investment in that because like I'm not saying add
did you-
bots to
Did you see fucking
FPSs,
Overwatch
but-
2 announcement?
Oh
they
yeah,
they
did we
canned
talk
it.
about this?
I don't think we did.
No.
On the
We have enough
podcast.
time.
So Overwatch 2.
But like literally the defining or like the definitive
main
reason
feature.
why. Yeah,
Literally
main feature.
the main feature.
Yeah, and they just canned it. And it's like, oh no, it's
Wait.
too hard. It's like,
Well, PVE.
yeah.
So
we
Overwatch
already played
did
that.
like a huge thing. Yeah. No, it's gone. They're not doing it
Yeah.
anymore. So
They're not doing it
Overwatch did a huge thing, right? Where they were like, okay, we're gonna do Overwatch 2, and the big like selling point is PvE.
Yeah.
So when they
Right,
went
yeah.
to 2,
Yeah.
let's just talk like when 2 got released, which was a year ago, 6 months ago, something like that. The PvP was objectively worse. The balance was fucked because they changed the number of players on each team, which sounds small but is a huge deal. There's no more
And
role
they started
queue.
also adding a lot of kind of
Um,
broken characters.
there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that objectively got worse. As in features like before, there was role queue. Now, no role queue. So the features that are objective have been removed. And there's a whole bunch of server issues, obviously. And then the balance has been completely fucked, obviously. So they've made it objectively worse, and also a whole bunch of money shit, like stuff didn't carry over, and so people spent all this money on skins and shit, and I don't think a lot of it carried over. I'm not sure about that. Okay, whatever. People were like, okay, we'll take the hit because PvE mode's coming, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So to give some history about Overwatch, Overwatch used to be a project called Titan, which was Blizzard's new MMO. This was like over 10 years ago, right? Blizzard was like, okay, we've made WoW, and everyone was trying to make the new generation of MMO before everyone realized that you can't do that. MMOs take 20 years to make. So they were trying to make Titan, and it didn't work, which was it was a lot of PvE in the Overwatch universe with the Overwatch assets and stuff. It didn't work. That's the whole reason they scrapped it and made Overwatch. I'm going to say that again. 10 years ago, they figured out it didn't work. So they just tried to do it again, and guess what? It didn't work. And now they're like, oh yeah, we're not delivering anything. You're not getting a PvE mode.
Was it just to make extra sure, just in case we have some nerds out there listening? Was it, if it was MMO, isn't that different gameplay from like a hero shooter though?
My point is they tried to make, with the assets and stuff and the engine and the stuff they're working with, they tried to make a PvE thing 10 years ago, and they went, hey, this isn't working, it's not fun. They just tried to do that again, and they went, hey, this isn't working, it's not fun. Like, fucking no shit.
That was an MMO though, right?
Yeah, but not MMO in like the traditional WoW sense. Like back then, people were trying to make it like, think Destiny, you know. I think the gameplay.
So it was a shooter still.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It wasn't. It wasn't like a tab target WoW style. No. But anyway, so yeah, that's been canceled. So now the game is just objectively worse in a bunch of different ways. There's some new stuff, whatever. It's like, okay, now some of the maps are at night instead of day. Big whoop. And then
there was one comment that really hit home. It was like the only reason why they wanted to make Overwatch 2 because they promised they would never have a battle pass in Overwatch 1. So let's just make a sequel and then add the battle pass in there with the promise of PvE. And they didn't fall through with that. So it's just like, yeah, like you said, objectively worse in every way.
It's objectively worse.
It's just, yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, damn, just as a major fan of the first game, I played hundreds of hours on it, so it was just kind of sad to see. Yeah.
You didn't need to go to a whole second game.
No, I know. Yeah, it was money ploy. Money.
They definitely. But it's also free to play. Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, it's free to play with the okay, skins these days, like whatever. I was just looking at the Diva skin. It was like $40, and I like. Okay. Say what you will about loot boxes. I spent maybe tops $200, like $200, like total over like my total. I have almost had all of her skins. Same with Mercy, like just a bunch of other characters.
Yeah.
But they were randomly given out to you.
There's some kind of insane. I have all of her skin.
I know. The moment I'm like, I'm gonna be taking all the shots here. But I'm just saying now they're way more fucking expensive than they once were. That's the whole point.
Oh no.
I've spent a significant amount of money on skins, and I like.
Don't get Diva Christmas outfit anymore.
I get to dress up with Diva.
Well, that's our show.
I've spent so much money on skins. On Apex, I think I've spent like $1,600.
Oh, that's
I have multiple heirlooms. I have like 4 or 5 heirlooms.
Actually, there's a place you can. Anyway,
find out.
Find out next time.